Good evening. It is Saturday night, March 31st, 2018. That's right. It's not an April Fool's joke. The expansion Vegas Golden Knights are your 2018 Pacific Division champions. The Sharks failed to clinch a playoff spot. Guys, let's not make all my hair go all white right now. But the Sharks lose 3-2 to the Vegas Golden Knights. They go 1-2-1 on the road trip, and now 3 important games coming home to finish out their 2017-18 campaign. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. We are your live and interactive Sharks post-game show, and we do this after every single game, home and away, playoffs or not. So by all means, if you want to be a part of the show, please do so by using the hashtag TealTownUSA on the Twitter machine. Easy for me to say, right? And also join us on the YouTube page, whether it's on the app or on the website. Join us over there. With me tonight, as always, it is Mr. AJ Strong. You're muted, bud.
As always, what are you talking about? I'm not here all the time.
No, that's true. It's just because I've seen you so many times. So I don't know if you caught Postgame Live, but they put up the wrong graphic. Sharks were winners in Vegas, clinch their 3rd straight playoff.
Nice.
Wishful thinking, folks. Ay. All right. So, so let's talk about this game as the Sharks. The chat is having a good time here. As the Sharks finish off their 4-game road trip, one that we thought that would be, we knew that was going to be a tough one when we circled it on the calendar early on, but I didn't think it was going to be this tough, AJ.
I did.
Well, good for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude. Chicago obviously eliminated from the playoff picture, but still playing decent hockey and have always been kind of a thorn in the side for the Sharks. The Blues obviously fighting for that playoff spot. Nashville, #1 in the league, and Vegas now Pacific Division winners. So this was a brutal road trip. And tonight, for their 4th and 6th nights. And let's be honest, Team Teal, the Sharks emptied the tank versus Nashville 2 nights ago. So the fact I'm happy that the Sharks were able to stay with Vegas as long as they did. A power play goal would have been nice versus Nashville. Power play goal would have been nice this evening versus the Knights. A better defense would have been nice tonight. Burns giving the puck away like candy on Halloween this evening. Not the best. Paul Martin, not his best game. Kevin LeBanc, not. There's a lot of guys who were passengers, to borrow a phrase from the one and only Todd McClellan. Lots of passengers tonight, not many drivers.
Maybe since they're in Vegas, you don't want them to drive. I don't know. And again, that's the Vegas flu. It's something the Sharks are going to have to get over if they do make the playoffs and have to go up against the Golden Knights.
So Ryan Baer joining us from T-Mobile.
He's from the Knights of the Round Table. Ryan, how are you, sir? And tell us about this atmosphere in T-Mobile Arena tonight.
You might want to try it one more time, Eric.
Ryan, are you with us?
Hey, guys, it's pretty loud in here at the Fortress. Just giving out the jerseys. They just gave away those awards just about 5 minutes ago. How's it going, guys?
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, well, we can't hear you at all.
How about now?
Nope.
No. if you can, tell us about the atmosphere in there, as not just this season, but especially tonight after a celebrating a Pacific Division title.
Oh, it's unreal. I mean, everybody at the beginning of the season thought that the Vegas Golden Knights was not the mustard and everything. People thought that they were going to.
All right. I think we're gonna have to drop this. We cannot hear anything that he's saying.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to try it another time, buddy. But thanks for joining us.
We'll try it again later this week, bud.
Yeah, well, in a little bit to be. I don't know that he was using the right Bluetooth earphones, but the other thing being, I mean, it's godforsaken loud because tonight is their fan appreciation night. So, of course, the festivities are going to go on for a little while, especially after a win and especially after locking up the Pacific Division.
Absolutely. So let's get into the recap, shall we? It started early and often, and first, can't help but see that salute by the Golden Knights to the victims of the Vegas shooting as they raised a banner with 58 stars on there, commemorating them, along with retiring the number 58. Definitely got the crowd inspired, and maybe the players as well, as Shea Theodore gets things going about 2 minutes into the game on the first shot of the game. Exactly the last thing you wanted to have going for the Sharks.
And Vlasic not helping things, providing a perfect screen in front of Jones to allow that shot in. And this is something that Vlasic, obviously a all-world defensive defenseman, but his choices over the last few games have been a little suspect. He is not clearing his crease. He's not getting guys out of the way of Jones's view, something that I think Vlas needs to work on. Granted, did get a goal tonight, and that's awesome. And finally, for the first time, I think in like 7 years, the Sharks have two defensemen to score double-digit goals during a regular season. But fact of the matter is, Vlasic's choices when it comes to playing in front of Jones have not been great so far over the last 4 to 5 games.
Yeah, I think with those last 2 wins in the 8-game winning streak to now, they haven't played their best. And unfortunately, I don't know if they sat back and thought they had everything locked up and maybe steal the division title. That's obviously gone away now. And now now it's just a struggle. And with that crowd, and in Vegas is very successful when opening the scoring first. It's one of those things that you have to persevere, and they did early on, thanks to Joe Pavelski's 21st on the season from Meyer and Donskoy to tie that game up at 1-1 at 7:14 of the first. I thought, okay, they're getting shots on goal, they're getting chances, they're making do with whatever they can, despite getting the goal and Kane going to the box early on. AJ, I thought they weathered the storm after 20 minutes.
Absolutely. And Pavs gets that rebound to tie things up. And just to go back to what I was saying about Vlasic not clearing the crease, the same could be said for McNabb not clearing Meyer out of the crease.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, both teams not, helping out their goalies in that situation. But it is, I mean, I hate the phrase "it is what it is," but that's the way it broke down tonight. Again, Vegas playing, their 3rd and 4 nights, but their back-to-back was at home. It's not like they had to travel, whereas the Sharks, obviously 4 and 6 nights, all on the road. So, and again, I go back to the fact that I really think that San Jose really just left it all on the ice versus Nashville 2 nights ago. So maybe they just didn't have the little extra that they needed tonight. But the defense was porous tonight. And there were a few key forwards. I would have liked to have seen Bodker get moved off that second line and bring somebody else up there, because Hurdle and Couture and Bodker really didn't seem to do a whole lot tonight. I thought the top line was decent. I would have liked to have seen a few more looks. I didn't like that Kane penalty. I thought
Which
that
one?
was – well, exactly. So I wasn't thrilled with that. I thought the fourth line was fine. I thought the third line, again, aside from a couple of miscues from LeBanc, I thought did an admirable job. There was a couple shifts where Tierney looked really good. That dude is playing for a contract right now.
Mm-hmm.
But again, can we just leave Steve's spot in Vegas? Like, let him go like bartend at like the Venetian or something. I mean, this what are we 0 for 22 now?
1 for 22 on the power play.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. So since that Vegas game back in February to now, we've had one multi power play goal game.
I'm just looking for a power play goal game.
Well, and that's the spot. And AJ, you can tell me for sure, what was the biggest thing for the Sharks to get to the Cup final in 2016? Their power play was on fire.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And that's the whole thing is, granted, you want a better PK than that's what you focus on, is the PK over the power play. I get that. I totally understand that. But there is something to be said that when you've got a power play that is just clicking, that makes the other team think twice about taking stupid penalties, and that makes them, maybe dial it back a little bit, and it makes them afraid to take penalties if your power play is just humming along at 22-23%. But
precisely, and that's the point that I've said. When the power play gets going, they're going to be hesitant about taking penalties. You get them off their game. If not, you're going to see the elbow from Ryan Carpenter to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. You're going to see the holds here and there that you saw on the sticks tonight. You're going to see the Sharks get frustrated, and they seemed out of sync. I mean, I think I counted like 5 or 6 offsides in the first, and it's ridiculous.
Gen X pointing out in the chat a good point. It says you want, at worst, the total between your PK and your power play to be at 100%. So,
exactly.
If the PK is clicking along at 88, you hope that your power play is at 12. And, and that's at worst. So anyway, Steve's spot, I think, and this is something that we've been talking about now for a couple years. That's it. Just like we've been talking about Tim Burke now for a while when it comes to drafting. So it's just ridiculous. A couple of the questions in the chat asking about, do you think we'll see Heed before the end of the season? Do you think we see does Yoki Ryan play on Tuesday? Has Ryan been cleared? Is he ready to go?
I think he's ready to go.
Based on the game Martin had tonight, I would not have a problem starting Ryan on Tuesday.
And you know what? Martin was the only one that has a plus for plus minus on the defense tonight.
How funny is that? Either way, I thought he had a bad game.
I'm sorry. I will actually keep Martin in there and have them scratch Dylan DeMello. He looked like a chicken with his head cut off there tonight. 13:29 time on ice. He had the lowest of the defensemen, which is quite disappointing. And when these questions are being shown right now, it makes you want to guess what you need to do for the playoffs. And to me, I think what you need to do playoffs is reassess your lineup.
Well, and another thing, though, you have to take into account besides that is the fact that Thornton took morning skate. We may see him back for the final game of the season, which will obviously shift things a little bit. And I go back to how I was talking about the second line tonight with Couture and Hurdle. Couture, the only forward that was -2 tonight. I mean, Couture and Hurdle, not a good night tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, not exactly the greatest in the world. And kind of getting back on the summary here, Oscar Lindberg with his 8th on the year from Theodore. his makes it 2-1 Golden Knights at 3:03. Then you had Marc-Edouard Vlasic did do something good. He got the 11th of the season from Pavelski and Braun to tie it up at 2-2. I will give the Sharks credit in this. They have been resilient this season, especially since the calendar year turned, to stay in the game with all the deficits that they've been on or what have you. I mean, I think that's something where we've seen this team be able to be successful with, is that they don't get into the they score, it's all over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something, right? Third period, Sharks had a couple of chances on the power play. Unfortunately, it didn't even seem like they got into the zone, and when they got into the zone, it was stolen by William Karlsson.
Well,
we have to talk about that.
Well, let's call it what it is. The Sharks had 2 power plays tonight. The first one, they didn't get a single shot on goal. The second one, they gave up a hurdle shorty. And when I say hurdle shorty, you should know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yep.
But Karlsson nets his 42nd of the season. And on a beautiful, you can't deny it. It was an absolutely gorgeous goal. I mean, very much a la hurdle from 4 seasons ago versus the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the thing that needs to be called out, when Hurdle went between the legs upstairs, that was his 4th goal of the night, and the Sharks were over the Rangers at that point, like what, 6-2 or something?
7-2. He made it 8-2 on the goal.
Yeah. So the game was already locked down. For Karlsson to do that tonight in a tie game, dude, that's a set of cojones. That's pretty ballsy to pull that off. And for him to do that was massive. And you got to give him a stick tap to that. As a fan of the opposing team, you're just like, oh my God, I want to throat punch him. But you gotta stick tap, man. You just go, dude, that was pretty badass.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, to do it shorthanded and in a tie game.
Right. And again, I'm going back to what I'm saying. First power play goal, you get no shots on goal. First power play, you get no shots on goal. Second power play, you give up a shorty. Like, Steve Spot, what in the hell is going on?
And they get a total of 1 shot on the man advantage, and they gave up 1 shot and it went in. I'll say this, that goal is very demoralizing, and we've talked in the past about the psyche of how things can be with this team, and unfortunately that probably played a role in it. And what a message to send, not just to everybody, but maybe to the Sharks if the Sharks make the playoffs and get to round 2. It's like, dude, we can dangle like crazy shorthanded and have all the confidence in the world.
Well, funny, Jerry F in the chat saying power play is hot garbage. We can't even enter the ozone. And for the most part, I agree with them. I don't know how many times you have guys like LeBanc and Sorensen, just when it's 5-on-5 and they're not using their speed and taking it in deep. That is one of the things that drives me nuts. Vegas, not the fastest team in the league. Use your feet. Get the puck in deep. Skate it in deep. Again, I go back to Burns tonight. Not the best with the passes. A lot of unforced giveaways. The guys, that's one of the things that has driven me nuts with the Sharks under PDB is just too many times they don't contest their own blue line. And I complain about it on Twitter and say, why aren't you contesting that blue line? Well, they're coming in with speed. Oh, okay. Well, then why aren't the Sharks coming in with speed? Well, they don't have any. There's a couple of guys that they have that have speed. You can get the puck, chip it in deep, and use your feet. And sometimes the Sharks are just not using their feet. Let's get on here. Okay, what is Martin A whining about now. I'm kidding.
No, he's like,
division
we can't
lead.
get out of our own zone, let alone score.
No, before that, it was at me. It says when you have an 8-point division lead, you can do that. Well, yeah, I suppose so. I'm assuming he's talking about the. Oh, hey, I just saw Kelsey on the TV. I suppose when you have that that lead, that you can take some risks, obviously. But I am just, it's funny. Like even just 2 days ago, I felt like, after the Sharks did what they did versus Nashville. Now, granted, 5-3 loss, but 5-3, it goes into the books. Let's be honest. The 5 was empty net goal, but the Sharks, that was one of the best games that I've seen all season from the Sharks, despite it being a loss. Tonight was not the best I've seen from the Sharks. Tonight, there was some lazy hockey played. I don't know if you want to call it Vegas flu or what. And there's some people, some Vegas fans chirping me on Twitter, and that's fine. But let's, if we're going to be honest about it, and you want to chirp me, let's be on. The NHL put the Vegas Knights in the best, most opportune position to succeed this season. Like, just call it what it is. Don't act as if like, oh, we didn't have a team a year ago and we've already won the Pacific. And it's like, bitch, you guys are literally rolling 4 second lines, if you're honest. If you're honest and you know the game. And I would think Gen X would back this up. You guys are, every one of your lines could be considered a second line for almost any other team in the league. So just shut that right down and just be honest about it. The Vegas Knights were put in the biggest position to succeed, and that's great. You want parity. You want a lot of teams to be competitive. I don't think the NHL wants to see another, second season Sharks that went like 11 and 72.
11,
yeah. Like, I don't think the NHL wants to see that again, but that's the whole thing. Call it what it is. Some of the Vegas fans with the chirping, I don't know that they know the history of how expansion has actually worked prior to them getting a team.
Well, let's be honest, AJ. Don't we wish the Guns paid $500 million for the Sharks now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And guess what, folks?
I'm not saying the NHL, has said anything to the officials, and I hate calling officiating out. I hate it.
We hate to put the tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, I don't want to put on a tinfoil hat. I hate calling out officiating, and there have been games as well, conversely, where we've gotten on here after a game and said, holy crap, the Sharks got benefited with all sorts of ridiculous calls tonight. I mean, it has gone both ways.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
But tonight it did feel like there was more than a few that went. Vegas did get 4 power plays. Sharks got 2, and the Sharks definitely drew more than 2 tonight. They just weren't called. But again, what does it matter if the Sharks power play can't score a goddamn goal, and gives up a shorty? So what are you going to do?
I mean, Chris in the chat, in a rare display of business acumen, the NHL realized an expansion team toiling for several years is not good for business. Sure. I totally
ask Atlanta.
Yeah, ask Atlanta how they feel. Ask Nashville, who were like a few votes away from moving to Hamilton a few years ago. I mean, ask Columbus, who's only won, I think, like 3 playoff games in franchise history.
Hey, let's be honest. We all would have been really happy with a team in Hamilton. I'm just saying.
But
that would have been fun.
But hey, here's the best part. You ready, AJ? Guess what? We get to do this all over again in 2 years. When the
we'll see.
When the Seattle Totems come to town.
We'll see.
Or I think the one I came up with was the Seattle Slytherins. So
no, the Totems, so we can all sit there and go, oh, totes my goats versus the Sharks.
Yeah. So Geez. So if you are just joining us, it's Eric and AJ. This is Teal Town After Dark, your post-game show on the YouTube. Feel free to join us in the chat, or if you want to use the Twitter machine, use the hashtag TealTownUSA on all that fun stuff. So, with that being said, the Golden Knights are division champs. Oh,
Excuse me. Phone working overtime. My bad.
gotcha. The Golden Knights are the division champs. They're going to they will host the first round series. We don't know who. As for the Sharks, they still haven't clinched anything yet. I mean, let's be real here. They're getting close. I mean, they're almost getting mathematically to the point where they have no chance.
You know what?
So.
I'm a little hungry. Can I just help and just play something real fast to just help us all out?
All right, ahead.
Okay.
Pizza.
Pizza. Pizza. Pizza. I want pizza now. So Jerry asking if we do we clinch on Tuesday in Dallas? If we win, yes.
Yes, if we win, we're in. There are possibilities that the team can have something happen. I think tomorrow night. I think either Colorado or Anaheim. If that goes into a regulation win, I believe that can happen as well. I don't know the complete scenarios on that, so don't quote me, but I believe they can finish out the season. I mean, it's yeah, and Chris says it tonight. The Sharks are probably back into it. It's already earned more of a matter of math, going from 99 to 100. Yeah, it's there is that slight possibility, and I'm trying not to think of that slight possibility, AJ. But you have three hungry teams that are desperate for wins, and we'll get into everything on the wraparound in just a moment. But I mean, this suddenly after this road trip, this homestand becomes huge right now because you are now fighting for home ice in the first round.
Absolutely, but I'm not nervous about Dallas after the gut punch Colorado got. I'm not nervous about them. The other thing that we need to point out too, Ryan Suter is out. He's gone. So, I mean, debatably the best defenseman for Minnesota. So the next three games, I think, and at the tank, I think the Sharks can win 2 of 3 of those, if not sweep. So, I mean, we saw the Sharks sweep Western Canada, then come home, sweep 3 straight, versus Jersey, Vegas, who was played tonight, and Calgary at that time fighting for a playoff spot and had been on a tear that they hadn't seen in 7 years when it comes to winning streaks. So you look at the end of this. I mean, it was Chicago and St. Louis, Nashville lost. So they've picked up 2 straight losses. Big effing deal. I can go through this entire schedule and tell you like 5 or 6 times the Sharks picked up 2 back-to-back losses. So get back to the tank and just, do what you need to do. Obviously, somebody string up
whatever
Spot.
it is doing.
Yeah, I was going to say somebody string up Spot as a sacrificial lamb in the corner. I mean, I don't understand what is going on. This goddamn power play. And I've been beating this drum all damn year. We had that little hiccup in the middle of the season where it started to climb back, where, if you take out the first 3 months of it and you just look at the last 3 weeks, the Sharks power play is in the top 10. Well, great. But, and I'm all for looking at trends and saying, what have the Sharks done? I don't need to know during game 62 what they've done over the last 62 games. Give it to me in 10-game chunks. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I like that. I prefer that because that is trends. And you take away essentially like 3 games over the course of the last, 3 months, and the Sharks have scored like one power play goal in like their last 100 and bajillion opportunities. I mean, it's maddening that somebody is not fired over this. It honestly is. I mean, clearly someone not doing their job. And you're talking about a team that just a few short years ago had a power play that was lethal.
Yep.
So
big time. And we'll say it again. You need your special teams big time come playoff time. And if you don't have it, then you are SOL in the long run. So,
in fact, that should be a hockey stat too. I mean, you see shots on goal and all that. SOL should be a hockey stat, I'm saying.
Shootout loss? No.
Sure.
In the chat, Sharks power play was in top 10 almost the whole season until Jumbo was out. It dropped 6% after he was out. Good for the bottom of the league.
And the funny thing is that with Jumbo, the power play was so predictable, and it has been for so long. Mm-hmm. It's when the Sharks first got Jumbo, how many times have we talked about this? That he would set up office behind the net, find that open guy who was pinching, coming in down low, and basically you'd have both guys coming in from both slots, and the goalie wasn't sure which way to bounce. Defenders not sure which guy to pick up.
Yeah.
And Thornton would find the open guy, boom, tap, tap, easy in, boom. And then for some reason, like over the last 5 or 6 seasons, it's kind of like, okay, so we're going to skate the puck in really fast. Then we're going to hit the brakes hard on the half boards, somehow get it to Jumbo on the opposite half boards, and then just like hope and pray.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely
unbelievable predictability. And how many times did we say there were a few times this season that during the power play, all of a sudden you saw some like, whoa, these are some different passes. These are not the Sharks that we're used to. And what happened? The puck ended up in the back of the damn net. Like, can we find a little bit of unpredictability? Get LeBanc off of the top goddamn line. Let's put Timo up there. I mean, shift it up.
And I wonder, and play with me here, and I see some.
Hey, you keep that.
No. But I wonder if LeBanc's there, and because he does is more pass happy, he's there just to keep Jumbo's spot warm.
Which pisses me off because LeBanc has proven to have a great shot.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. Now, granted, LeBanc, you look at his assists. I mean, last time I looked, I think he was like 6th on the team in assists. It might have dropped down recently, but for quite a while there, he was up there like top 5, top 6 on this team in assists and was getting off some great passes. But evidently that's all been in despite of his great shot when he can get that off. We've seen LeBanc with some great snipe shots. Let's talk about his shootout goal, which was just filthy over the last week.
That made Donskoy's dirty dangles look cleaner than Landy's bed the last time he was on.
Oh, hey now. So Hockey Jerk joining us from the city in the desert. And Hockey Jerk was actually at this game, if I read my Twitter correctly. So Jerk, jump on in here, brother.
Okay, well, I should preface this by saying I can't guarantee the quality of this hangout will be as top-notch as it usually is, but hello, friends. How are you?
Well, let's be honest. It's not like you're having to reach a really high bar.
This is very true.
There you go.
What's up, Jerk? Tell us about your experience in the atmosphere tonight, and let's be honest, tons of Sharks fans making the trek to Southern Nevada.
Yeah, there was a good chunk of Sharks fans here. There were a handful of groups, about 10 to 20 people, all sprinkled throughout the arena. But no, it was a very good group of Sharks fans who showed up. I'm very impressed, considering, it's the last home game of the season for the Golden Knights, and I can tell you from experience, the tickets were brutally expensive. But
really?
Yeah, but all you need to do is just, you just run to the nearest blackjack table make a quick bet. Boom, you win, and tickets are paid for.
There you go. You just better hope that if you are playing blackjack, you hit at least once, because you don't want to be like the Sharks power play.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't say it.
You literally just said it.
No, you
I don't know. I don't think that was me. I don't know what you're talking about.
So where are you right now? Are you outside T-Mobile, or are you like safely ensconced inside the champagne room of the visitor's locker?
No, I am meandering about outside the arena. There's still a good little group of people out here. Everybody just hanging out. I think, Saturday night, and I mean, it is only 11 o'clock, so in Vegas time, it's early. So I feel like people are
Vegas time.
Where to go?
Yeah, no, this time at 11 p.m. on a Saturday at Vegas, like people are getting brunch right now.
Yeah, no, I'm literally, after I end with you guys, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna go gamble.
Okay, now can I give you a reference, if you will? Do you hockey jerk? Do you enjoy the pizza?
Okay.
I love pizza.
You love pizza. Okay, let me enlighten your life, and you will thank me for this if you do it.
Will I?
You will. So if you're still at T-Mobile, you're going to walk out to the strip. You're going to hang a big old left, and you're going to take an Uber, a taxi, a horse-drawn carriage. I don't care how you do it. If you put on rollerblades, but you're going to go down the Las Vegas Boulevard, you're going to go down the strip, and you're going to go down to a casino hotel called the Palazzo. And if you aren't familiar with it, it is attached to a casino hotel known as the Venetian. Inside the Palazzo is a New York pizza place known as Grimaldi's. Go there, order a pie, thank me tomorrow. That's what I'm saying.
I will have to check it out on your word.
You have no idea how amazing this is. Change your life kind of pizza. I'm just saying. Grimaldi's in the Palazzo.
Really?
Best pizza I've ever had in my life. And I have had pizza in New York City, and Grimaldi's at the Palazzo was better. I'm just saying. So aside from that, after you make that life-changing decision, anything else that you'd like to discuss about the game tonight, aside from how bad Burns and Martin were?
Oh my God. Okay, Burns. I feel like if you looked up in the dictionary, if you looked up careless, you would see a picture of Brent Burns. Like blind pass after blind pass, and lazily waving his stick at pucks that were flying through the air. I mean, that was it was not fun. The fun thing to kind of see was just how into this team people are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and you got to give it up to him. I mean, show me. I mean, you can sit there and go, it's amazing to see how into this team people are. Do you remember 93, 94 once the Sharks actually moved to San Jose? No. All right. Okay. Just put a cork in it for a second. But 93, 94, this is the whole thing. 93, 94 is literally the same thing that Vegas is going through right now, where 93, 94, no one expected anything from the Sharks. And not only did they go on this incredible run, and we'll see what Vegas does in the playoffs, but obviously the Sharks in 7 games on Jamie Baker's goal knocked out everybody's favorite pick to win the cup, knocked them out in the first round, and it was Teal fever everywhere. So let's see how Vegas looks in 20 years after not winning a cup, and see if it's that great too.
I don't know if they're not going to win a cup, dude.
It's they're just they're just so crazy about it. Like, you know,
let's see when the Raiders get there in a couple of years.
Well, you know, I've been since they announced the team, between when they announced the team and now, I was in Vegas a separate time, and you know, it was like, oh, hockey coming this fall, and that was pretty much the extent of it. And now I'm back here, and you walk by, you know, you walk by blackjack or roulette tables in casinos. You know, you walk by. I'm pretty sure Riley Smith of the Vegas Golden Knights just walked past me. But anyways, you walk by outdoor bars, you walk by everything, and you see Golden Knights, you know, games or highlights or NHL Network or whatever is on the TVs. So, you know, they're really loving the hockey. And then,
but that's what happens when a city gets their first professional team. They go nuts over it, just like San Jose did.
Right. And, you know, even like during the game, you know, the Golden Knights literally get the puck to the red line, and the fans are like freaking the hell out, like, oh, they might score here. So it was, you know, it was just really cool to see the amount of passion. You know what I mean?
And with good reason, because they are that offensively talented with all their offense that they have to do so.
Right.
Well, and easy to do, again, when you have a team that is built on 4 second-line players.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for all that said about how expansion drafts, you know, you get sort of the bare minimum. But, you know, I feel like people fail to realize that the NHL has never been any better than it is right now. You know what I mean? Like, every team has good players.
Yeah, but do you think every team has good players because of expansion, because they've diluted the pool so much? Like, would the NHL have bigger powerhouse teams if we were back down to like 28 teams?
I mean,
because you'd have better players on more teams.
Myself personally, I'm not a fan of the powerhouse things, because I like last day of the regular season competition. You know what I mean?
I enjoy that, but boy, when your team is the powerhouse, it's a lot of fun to watch.
I'm sure it is, and you know, depending on who you ask, I've really enjoyed these last 2 Pittsburgh Penguins Cup runs.
And with that, Hockey Jerk is going to Grimaldi's, and
I will just say, and it's very possible that, you know, I was distracted by something and then only started looking again like halfway through, you know, what was going on. But there were a couple.
What was their name?
There were a couple instances during the game where I was kind of like, like that. I don't know if that should have happened. Like, I'm fairly certain there was one icing call where they took a TV timeout.
Oh yeah, Eric talked about that earlier. No, there was a couple icings that were a little suspect.
Yeah, and then
offsides.
Yeah, and then there was another instance where Golden Knights were going for a change. Dylan threw the puck and it hit the 6th man in the foot, but it wasn't too many men.
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah, I'm sorry, Jerk. Go ahead.
Couple suspect things, but I mean, it, you know, would not have changed the outcome of the game. And you know, even though they lost, like I said, I had a good time. You know, there was a bunch of Sharks fans, and you know,
how loud were the Sharks fans tonight?
They were pretty loud. I wouldn't know if you could like hear them on TV, but definitely when the Sharks scored, there was a good chunk of cheering, and there were a handful of times where, you know, "Let's Go Sharks" was very audible in the arena, and then obviously the power plays they got. A handful of people, you know, were doing the chomp as well.
Sweet. And so at 11:45 in the PM in Vegas, what's the temperature like right now outside? Like a nice balmy, like 80 degrees?
You know, my internal thermometer is not working, but myself as a person who generally gets warm really quickly, I'm doing okay. It's a little breezy. You know, I may take off the old sweater once we get things rolling on the nightlife here, but for now I'm doing good. I'm just chilling.
All right. Well, can I, if I can give you another pointer, one of the things that will help your internal thermometer, maybe if you try not being so clean shaven, like just grow out the body hair, stop waxing. Maybe that could help. I mean, I know you want to be clean. I know you want to be clean and smooth, but I'm saying just let a little bit of it be a little natural with it.
Only for you, AJ, will I grow out a peach fuzz mustache and sideburns.
Dude, or just a soul patch, little soul patch, maybe something like that, or you know, or what is this, the goatee or whatever, you know, a little bit of this, just a scotch. You don't have to go full blown. You don't have to go full blown. Yeah, just a scotch. You don't have to go like full blown Burns or Thornton, but just just get away from the baby face is what I'm saying. Just let a little bit.
Well, I will take it under consideration.
There you go. Now, I'm telling you, I don't want to be disappointed. I want to I'm going to be up for the next hour and a half, and during that time, I want to see my Twitter blow up with like 5 different photos from you at Grimaldi's and this amazing pizza that you're going to have.
I will do my best.
I am telling you, you need to go. Grimaldi's is a life-changing experience. When are you coming back, by the way?
That is to be determined. I may never.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I may just hide under the bed of my hotel room and just never come back.
Nice. Or fit into Burnsy's backpack.
There you go. I mean, it is very spacious, so I don't see why I wouldn't be able to fit in there.
Right? That's awesome.
But I'm going to cut out, guys. It was good chatting with you.
Absolutely.
Have a great night, and in 45 minutes I will be having a great morning.
Yes, and again, I'll be looking on my Twitter for that picture of that slice or that full size pie. Do yourself a favor, full size pie. In fact, do me a favor, get a full size pie. Bring half of it back tomorrow.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother.
See ya.
Hockey Jerk on the scene. That was awesome. What are you trying to share right now, Eric?
Well, this is what I was trying to share while you guys were talking. The amount of teal that was in the building tonight. And, as much as you've heard me go on a teal rant for numerous times, that's our color, and that's when we are marking your territory as Sharks territory. And no matter I remember a friend of mine drove in from Utah. We had a ton of people drove or flew out to Vegas tonight, whether it's in the groups or such. But my goodness, when you saw the teal, you knew those were Sharks fans out there. And I just get a kick out of it every time I see this. So.
Yeah. Retweet that. That is a great shot from the Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good job. I was, in fact, and I have a couple friends that made the trip. Unfortunately, I was looking at trying to make this trip, but fortunately, I couldn't. Family obligations take precedent over the trip. If this game had been scheduled a weekend earlier, I would have been there. But family options take precedent. I'm sure you are all aware. So. It's Sharks down 2-3 from the Golden Knights, and with that, we will move into the NHL wrap around and just discuss what is happening, what is left over score-wise. Interesting night. So we will start in Boston. 5-1 over the Panthers. Rask over Optimus Prime. Jamie McGinn, former Shark, getting
post-Teal syndrome.
Yeah, post-Teal syndrome strikes again. Obviously not for James Reimer, but for Jamie McGinn, yes. Hello. So that's the way that one would end up. Red Wings 2-0 over the Senators. Howard over Condon. And Dylan Larkin getting in on the – man, that's a guy I feel like on another team he would be a bit more lethal. I do like Larkin.
You talk about a guy who likes to pass. I mean, his assist to goal ratio is just off the charts.
Yeah, And then another guy that I do actually like a lot, Athanasiou, another guy, gets his 16 to the night. The Canucks. Yeah, Vancouver still has a team. I know. I can't believe it either. But
Did somebody say Vancouver?
They won 5-4 in overtime. The Canucks goalie that you've all heard of, Demko, getting
the rising prospect for the Canucks.
Yeah. Again, post-Teal syndrome would strike again in this one, where Nikolai Goldobin scored his whopping 6th of the season. Archibald, Jussi Jokinen, Bo Horvat, Rockets' favorite non-Shark, and Alex Edler would tie in for the Vancouver scores on that. The Winnipeg Jets would be victorious over the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. Hellebuck getting another victory, and McElhinney
Marlowe getting the only goal for the Leafs.
Yeah, Marlowe getting the only goal on the power play, no less. Yeah, that piss you off? And Marlowe scoring his 26th of the night, meaning that he is one goal away with a couple games left, handful of games, from tying his total from last season. I don't know that Marlowe had the benefit of a 4-goal game this year, like he did versus Colorado. But anyway, also getting in on the fun, Dustin Byfuglien putting up his 7th in that one. Yep. Moving on, again, post-Teal syndrome would not strike again, almost, where the Devils would be over the Islanders 4-3, and Thomas Greiss would take the loss in that one. And it's another game where a shorthanded goal was scored. Don't piss me off. And Hall would score twice in this one of them on the power play. Power play, you say, what's that? Penguins 5-2 over the Canadiens. Murray with the victory, and someone, again, post-Teal syndrome doesn't strike everybody, and it certainly doesn't strike Antti Niemi, who goes down in this loss. Hey, now. Sherry, Hornquist, Hagelin, Kessel, blah, 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 Penguins, blah, blah, blah. Go down to Carolina. The Rangers would beat the Canes 2-1. Lundqvist taking that rare win, that poor bastard. Cam Ward, unable to Cam Ward that bitch.
Jeez, he's been having a rough year.
Yet Skinner scoring the only goal for the Hurricanes. I'm still yet to find the person that says that him winning the Calder over Couture was warranted, but I digress.
Yeah.
we moved down to Nashville, find that the Sabres, yes, the Buffalo Sabres, they still have a team, 7-4 over the Nashville League. Wow, how did the Sharks not be able to pull this off? The Sabres, 25-41, were able to beat the Preds, yet 2 days ago, the Sharks weren't able to. Come on, man.
It helps that Jack Eichel had 5 assists in that game.
That probably helps. Reinhart with a hat trick. That probably helped. Pominville, and go ahead, do it.
And you could add one more to the population of Pominville.
Oh, kill me now. Pozo gets 2 in this one. And you know what? Maybe they should have started, Saros in this one, because Pekka Rinne got lit the hell up in that one. We moved down to Big D, the Dallas Stars, victorious over the Wild. And you talk about a game that Dallas needed. Lettinen getting the victory over Dubnyk. Spezza, Klingberg, Faxa, and Sagan get in for the Stars. Parise getting in on the power play for the Wild. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I should do this one so that way you can grab it. The Desert Dogs.
I'm sorry. Did you say grab it?
Yeah, there you go. The Desert Dogs, my goodness, they shut out the Blues in a game that the Blues really needed to get back into things.
Amazing how great the Arizona Coyotes play when they've been eliminated.
Yeah, no, they've been on a pretty good roll, so watch out for them next year. 6-0 they beat the Blues. I mean, wow. It's just crazy to see that the Desert Dogs are doing something.
Oh, I'm sorry, the who?
The Desert Dogs.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. In Alberta. The Battle of Alberta
Battle.
lives on. The Flames lit up the Oilers with 3 goals in the first period. They chased Cam Talbot out of there, and they win 3-2 over the Oilers. Both
which just
teams
goes to show, which just goes to show the Oilers. Oh my God, so much expected of them now let me ask you this right now. I don't know what's that guy's name in Nashville behind Renee? What's it?
Saros.
Sorry, yeah. There's what's his first name? UC or something? Yeah. Saros. Dude, if I'm the Oilers, I'm making a play for his ass in the offseason. Seriously. If I am the Oilers and I have cap space, that's the guy I'm looking at. Because Talbot, clearly not the guy who has gotten it done.
Yeah. So let's, for right now, the standings look like this. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I can't show. And of course, my screen just froze. So
thanks to Nickelback difficulties.
Oh my God. Oh man. Okay.
No, Nickelback difficulties.
No, seriously.
No. All right. Give me a moment. I got you. I got you.
We'll talk after the show as to why my screen is starting to freeze now.
It's all good.
So in the East, get it on the wild card.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. In the East, you have Washington and Pittsburgh clinching wild card spots. Columbus is on the verge at this moment. Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto all clinch playoff spots. That will come down to the final games of the season as to who plays who in the playoffs on the Atlantic side. Boston, Tampa, Toronto there. Philly and New Jersey are your wild cards in the East, and Florida clinging on to dear life in to a lesser extent Carolina.
Yeah,
but
they're tapped out.
Yeah, in the West, Nashville is at 111. They look like they're close to winning the President's Trophy. Winnipeg posts their biggest points total for an NHL franchise located in Winnipeg at 106.
And let's be honest, when you talk about Nashville and the President's Trophy, let's be honest. President's Trophy, not unlike the Best New Artist Grammy. Little bit of a kiss of death.
Little bit. No pressure, right? But hey, look how they rebounded after losing the Stanley Cup final.
Who got the President's Trophy last year? Was it Washington?
Yep.
And how'd that work out? Okay. Anyway.
Yep. Moving onward, Winnipeg's at 106. Minnesota hanging on at 96. So that loss by St. Louis would have been key to pull within 2 of the Wild for that number 3 spot. In the Pacific, yes, there is a Y next to Vegas because they have clinched the Pacific Division. They're at 107 points.
Oh, I thought that was a chromosome thing, but anyway.
Yes. San Jose is at 98. LA is at 94 points. The key here, of course, is that they are 4 points back, which is good. The bad news is that they have 41 rows, and if they do catch up to the Sharks, that's the tiebreaker, folks, and that could mean whether or not the Sharks and Kings were to start in LA or start in San Jose. So that's a very key one. However, that being said, Anaheim's at 93. They play tomorrow against Colorado. They're at 93 points. St. Louis is at 92. Colorado's at 92, and they're at a virtual dead heat if it weren't for the win-loss record, with St. Louis having one more win than Colorado does. Dallas, clinging for its life, needs all 3 victories, and including both Anaheim and St. Louis to not have a 3-point game tomorrow.
Right. And let's be honest, on Tuesday, if it's not already done, San Jose can piss that fire right the hell out.
Yeah, so that could be donezo by then. So, and unfortunately, we don't have Rocket to do it in in the performance that she did it in. So if the playoffs started today, it would be.
If the playoffs started today.
Don't try it. Just don't try it, please. My God.
Oh, believe you me.
No, don't. No, you sound like a golf announcer.
But that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
Get in your home, ball. Don't you want to be in your home? Go home, ball.
Just don't. Just don't. If the playoffs start today,
I can say the same for you every time you do an impression of like some retarded announcer. I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, mine doesn't sound like
I'm in the Bombinville.
Someone get that for me, please.
Did somebody say Vancouver?
I can't say that I get those down perfectly.
One more added to the population of Bombinville. That's literally what you sound like.
Well, that's literally what Rick Jenneret sounds like, and that was actually pretty good.
They're
AJ.
all very annoying. They're all very. Annoying.
I know.
I'm actually not doing an impression of him. I'm doing an impression of you doing an impression of him.
You're
just
welcome.
saying.
Hey,
Top shelf while Grandma hides the cookies.
Oh man! All right.
Oh, and you thought the impressions the other night were funny? Ha ha!
If the playoffs started today, I swear we're gonna get through this.
If the playoffs started today.
The Golden Knights would take on the Ducks, and the Sharks would take on the Kings. The Predators would take on the Blues. The Jets would take on the Wild. In the East, it would be Capitals, Flyers, and I'm sure Columbus is just so excited for this. The Penguins and the Blue Jackets. In the Atlantic, it would be the Bruins versus Devils and the Lightning versus the Maple Leafs, which essentially turns out to be an inter-squad matchup because of how much they look like with their uniforms. And now it's time for lounging with AJ.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought. Oh, well.
Call off the scores. And if the playoffs started today, Eric.
Well, I just did. And I feel like I'm watching the Weather Channel local forecast now with that music.
And tomorrow in San Jose, going to be a beautiful 76 degrees. Hello. A nice, balmy 58. It's one of those days where you can either drive an hour and head down to the beach for 64 degrees or head up to the snow with the Sierras where it'll be a beautiful 48 degrees. This is here on Pucknology in Teal Town, USA. We're representing all of them after dark with your weather and traffic on the 10s.
That's right. In AHL action, the Rockford Ice Hogs scored 4 goals in the third period to beat the San Jose Barracuda 5-3.
Davalos. AJ on KBLX.
That's right. Smooth Jazz 1037 KKSF. Yes. Let's go into the chat beforehand. Let's do some.
Yeah, let's get all up in there, shall we?
Oh, please. Rob, I am in Fact or Fiction. Garth Snow is gone after the season. Personally, I think
I think it's fiction. The fact that he's lasted this long, why get rid of him now?
Well, I say this: if he doesn't get Tavares, I think he's gone.
Oh,
okay. I think Tavares.
Be right back. By the way.
Okay. I'll continue on. Fact or Fiction: Scott Foster better than Yemi. No, but it shows you how great Chicago's defense is that you can look like a Vezina goalie and still be an accountant by.
Hold on. He's an accountant better than Niemi. Oh my God. Go. Okay,
I got this.
You know what? No. Okay, Niemi. What? Hold on. What was the gentleman's name?
Scott Foster.
Okay, Scott Foster. Better goalie? No. Better post-game interview? Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was priceless.
Dude.
That was priceless.
Foster's post-game interview, stellar. Most NHL thing I've seen probably all season. Unbelievable.
Yes. Let's see. Felix Chow, welcome to AccuWeather After Dark. Yes.
Oh, why?
Weather on the 8s.
And I know we're still looking for a sponsor.
please.
We're still looking for a sponsor. That would be nice. If I can talk to guys into Ballast Point, because, oh my God, this is one of the best beers I have ever had in my life. It is seasonal. So if you're able to go and get it now, I suggest you go do it like tomorrow. It's unbelievable. If you like red velvet cake, but you also like beer, go get this. The other thing that we should also, if we're talking about beer for a hot second, evidently, if you're not aware, Eric and I spoke with Sharks co-president Jonathan Becker earlier in the week. The interview posted yesterday.
Yes,
and
check that out.
The funniest thing is that we actually brought up the rumor that Chum from Gordon Bierce was going to be going away, and he says, I have not heard anything about that. And then all of a sudden, like a couple days later, Randy, Dan Ruzanowski, Jamie Baker, like literally everybody is posting, go get Chum now because it ain't going to be around for long. And hat tip to all you people out there, quick tip, if you have a knob hill in your nearest vicinity, there's a little birdie that is chirping out that if you buy 3 Sixers, you can get the 4th one for a penny.
Ooh.
So just saying. But other than that, red velvet, baby.
All right. Tonight's loss ranks as a 2 on the puck impact scale. Totally agree with that. I'm not going to do Mayday. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do Mayday. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Don't quit your day job, AJ. No, he can't quit his day job. Easy for me to say. Yeah, let's see. Ha with my tabs. Shut up. Who's getting fired next Saturday? Well, Sharks need to still get in, so let's be honest. They better. Factor Fiction, Oilers clean house this offseason. No, I think they're gonna think it's just an anomaly, and they'll try to get some change, some little changes here. So yeah, Hartnell took a major tonight in the game. That also helped out. So,
you know, the other thing that I really want to touch on just for a hot second, just something.
And time's up.
No, just something that's irritated me. I love Drew Remenda.
Oh God, here we go.
I have always loved Drew Remenda. I loved his color commentary. I loved how honest he would be. I think, unfortunately, that's one of the things that got him, or at least got his contract to be not renewed with the Sharks. But always his chemistry with Randy Hahn, beyond reproach. One of the best tandems when it comes to voiceover work and play-by-play for any hockey team or sports team for that matter. Amazing chemistry. That said, a month ago, I met up with Drew. He gave me a number to contact him at because we would love to do an interview with him. Who wouldn't? And I have texted that gentleman 4 times, and I have yet to hear back from him. At one point, I was like, I wonder if he, like, you know, I don't want to say drunk dialed me, but like passed me a fake number. I've confirmed his number with 3 higher up people. That is the correct number. He still hasn't gotten back to me. I'm just going to put this out now. If he doesn't get back to me between now and the end of the season, I'm going to tell everybody what that number was. No,
you're not.
I know. I'm
Excuse
kidding.
me.
But
Excuse
Drew.
me.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
No, yeah,
wait,
exactly.
No, I got it. Hold on. I got it. Just give me 1 minute. No, it's obviously it's because we want to have him on. So it's something, it's just kind of like, come on, man, get back to me. Let's set something up so we can have a nice, nice interview, nice back and forth. But let me just put it this way. Drew, if you're watching, can you text a brother back? Can you text a brother back? That's all I'm saying. Drew, if you're watching, help me out. I'll try to even involve Tom Tolbert. We can make it a 3-way. Just saying.
Drew, if you're watching, my mom still thinks you're a stud muffin and a half.
And in fact, we have audio tape to prove it.
Yes, we do actually. And for that matter, for the sake of my sanity, can you please call AJ back?
Yes, please. And Joe Panic has been the GOAT. We're 3 games into 162. Slow your roll a little bit. I'm just saying.
No, we aren't talking baseball. We are not.
Yeah, baseball. But I'm just throwing it out there.
No, God.
Just throwing that out there. We do have a couple people that are. There was a DVD in this at one point. I don't know what happened.
Oh, great!
Whoops.
So with that,
no baseball talk. Yeah,
baseball talk, and everybody starts.
I get you. Oh, how are we not guests on NBCSS or NBCSN California? You know what?
We need to shoot a demo reel.
Yeah, well, I think we need to shoot a demo reel. But the thing is if you look at the quote unquote outsiders segments that they do on there, if you'll notice, they only do they're how many teams? 49ers, Raiders, A's, Giants, Sharks, Earthquakes, Warriors, and there are only 2 teams that they do that for. It's the Giants and the Warriors. What do those teams have in common? Both of them are on NBCSN Bay Area, not NBCSN California. So yeah, I'm going to say that probably has a little bit to do with it. Why they are not doing, because if you look at it, the majority of their broadcasts, they're essentially on social media. They're on Facebook, YouTube, what have you. So why there isn't, and I'm not saying that Eric or I need to be a part of it. Would that be awesome? Yeah. Hello. But even if we're not a part of it, I really would, because it does seem like when it comes to sports, regional sportscasting and everything like that, there's no such thing as broadcasting. Everything is narrowcasted now. We're going to do a half an hour show on the Giants or the Warriors or whatever. What you are seeing, remember Chronicle Sports Live, Yahoo Sports Talk Live, where it was an hour show and they would cover little things around all the different sports teams. And now what is it? The happy hour. Okay, that's fine, but let's call it what it is. Look at any episode of the happy hour with Ratto and Papa and Kelly. I forget her last name. I'm sorry.
Kelly Johnson.
So you look at any episode of that, and what is it over the last 6 months? It is a whole lot of Warriors talk, sprinkled in with some football, sprinkled in with some baseball, and that's pretty much it. And when I say sprinkled in with baseball, it's Giants heavy. When I say sprinkled in with football, 49ers heavy. That's just the way it is. The Sharks, unfortunately, in the Bay Area media landscape, the Sharks are holding up the totem pole. They are bottom of the barrel, and their TV ratings prove that. Until the TV rating, the fact of the matter is over the course of, I think, God, was it a couple of years ago? It was so funny. It was funny yet sad that the Sharks and the Athletics over the course of 2 weeks, and you think about it, the Sharks can hold 17,562. The Athletics play in a freaking outdoor stadium that holds like 40,000,
50.
Yeah, 40 to 50,000. And what's messed up is over the course of like 2 weeks, the Sharks played almost the same amount. The Sharks played like a 7 or like 8 game homestand over 2 weeks, and the A's over that time I think played 10 games, and the Sharks outdrew the A's. Okay, let that sink in for a minute. So that's the reason why the Sharks and the A's and those, they're not getting an outsider show, unfortunately, at least for the time being. Would we love to see that? Yes. Will we love to be a part of that? Oh, yeah. But it's up to the powers that be. But I do think we are coming to a world that is more narrowcasting than broadcasting.
That classic AJ Technology After Dark Twitter rant brought to you by Ballast Point. With that being said, we need to give some kudos to on the broadcasting side. Let's start off with Brody Brazil, who basically did a doubleheader today. Who's been in the studios, I would think, since 11 this morning, and just now probably getting home. And
Oh, I think he's okay. And let's be honest, he's
I-
waiting for us to go off air so he can do his late night show.
He's doing a 1 a.m. show. What in the world?
Dude,
Amanda's going to kill him.
God bless Amanda.
Let's also, as you were talking to Hockey Jerk, I quickly put this together. Let's also give some love to Randy Hahn.
That's a great graphic.
As he's slaying it in Vegas, looking absolutely sharp tonight.
Dude, tell me you tweeted that to him.
Not yet.
Oh my God, that has to happen right now. Because I guarantee you, dude, he's in Vegas right now. He'll go have that shirt made. That is awesome.
So
1,700 games. And let's be honest, call it like we see it. We are absolutely blessed to have Randy. Thank God he has not gone national. And you have to realize, you look at the amount of games that he has called nationally over the last few seasons, the fact that he has not gone national, we are so blessed. Could you imagine what the alternate could be? I don't want to.
I
don't want to. Thank God for Randy.
And with that, in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, or YouTube. Check us out there on Teal Town USA. So we'll be back with you Tuesday night. Hopefully a playoff spot can be clinched by then against the Dallas Stars. Final thoughts, Mr. Strong.
Hey, just lock up the second seed, be healthy, play strong. Let's make more sound decisions. Can we? I don't want, and the fact that this comes up time and time again, where the Sharks, they try to put on a show rather than making the solid, thoughtful play. They try to do the fun pass or whatever. I don't want to see a show. You know what's a great show? Getting a victory at the end of it. I will watch the most boring hockey game ever if the Sharks take a 1-0 victory at the end of it versus losing 7-6. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't want cute. I don't want fun. I want a victory at the end of the day. So let's see that happen over these last 3 games. Dallas and Colorado. These are games that the Sharks should win. On paper, especially, you look, Dallas has fallen out of it over the last month or so. They have literally collapsed. Colorado got gut punched today. Take advantage of the situation and be pissed off that you put everything you had on the ice versus Nashville and you almost got it done. And then you played your 4th and 6th nights versus Vegas, and you almost got it done. 2 games where you almost got it done. You played well enough to get it done, but you didn't do it. So get it done now at home. 3 games left. No reason why you shouldn't go minimum 2-1, if not 3-0. So get it done. With that, I'm AJ_Strong on the Twitter and on the Instagram. The Pucknologist is actually off this week. We're taking a bye because it didn't seem to make a lot of sense to talk about just a quick 2 games. So we'll talk about 5 games at the end of next week and do a playoff preview. And hey, we might even have a special guest, especially if Drew Remender will return my goddamn phone call. God. Just saying.
Oh, man.
Love you, Drew.
All right, with that, you can reach me on Twitter and Instagram and send your complaints to at PuckGuy14.
I was completely remiss to not mention the tweet up. So go ahead, because we have buttons.
We have buttons. Hey, should I unveil it?
Do you have
one? Unveil the design?
You don't. Oh, you haven't gotten them in the mail yet?
No. I will get them soon. But
hold on. Okay, let's put it out to the chat. Would you like to see the button you're going to get on April 7th, or would you like it to be a surprise when you show up to the tank?
Let's see. To all
Jessica says do it.
Of course.
Whose team show the button? Whose team surprise? Let's see. Jessica really wants. Felix would like to.
Laurel,
hold on. Laurel you understand how like the U.S. postal system works, right? Like we can send you one of these.
Trust me, Rocket's getting
And
one.
in
I'm sending one
fact-
to Ian and everybody.
You know what? Hold on. Because we love Laurel so much, hold on. I'm going to reach into my bag of goodies. Laurel, we love you so much because especially the way you wield your band hammer when it's needed. Would it be okay, Laurel, that along with a tweet up button, if I included one of these like cool bad boys with it, would that be okay?
Oh yeah.
Would that be a nice like little inclusion if we just stuck one of these little guys in there? Are you okay with that, Laurel? A little Sharky, is that okay? I think we can make that happen. I think we can make that happen. There's Laurel right there.
So yes, for sure. Look at that. All right. I'm guessing. Oh, another thing to remind you about. So April 7th, the tweet up. What do we say, AJ? Am I supposed to unveil it or not? Looks like I'm not getting. I got 2 yeses, I think.
Oh, just whip it out.
Just all right.
The button, I mean.
Of course, it did it show up?
I don't see anything right now.
Oh, of course it wouldn't, right? Let's see. Now, maybe.
Nope.
God, are you kidding me?
Dear Lord. If it like right when his internet connection is okay, his screen share shucks. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I shuck my screen share.
There we go.
There you go.
So that decent button, right, chat? People in the chat, doesn't that look kind of cool? Is this the first button that we've ever done that actually has the Teal Town USA logo on it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
last year we had technology on it.
Yeah, so that's pretty bomb, right? I like it.
I like it.
I'm trying to decide how much I enjoy the Screaming Shark logo being a part of that, just because I would never want that to take the place of the current crest. But overall design,
stick in
beautiful.
A triangle, though. I think it looks.
I know. So. It is biting a stick, so I'll give you that. So yeah, I'm down with that. So Laurel, you can look forward to a button in the mail joined by a little mini Sharks bauble. And there you go.
Yeah. So
hold on. Wait a minute.
Put some booming in it.
No, I'm not done. Wait a minute. Let me dive into my bag of tricks here.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Let's see what we have here. This is also care of Chris JWS, by the way.
Brody's like, really, you guys?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Brody, if you're about, you know what? We're going to go to midnight and then you can go on. So leave us alone. So we are going to be bringing some goodies to the tweet up. How about a Patrick Marleau bauble? Not bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude could potentially win the cup this year.
No.
But there was, so I've shown you that I've taken that mini Sharky bauble and put it off to the side for Laurel.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I haven't forgotten about you people, because there's these Sharky baubles. And then we're going to dive into this bag and pull out more Sharky baubles all up in here, all courtesy of Chris JWS. We got Sharky baubles all over. I'm going to bring 10 Sharky baubles to the tweet up. So look at this bag, Sharky baubles. And show up to the tweet up, say hi. You might end up you might end up walking home with the Sharky bauble. Mm-hmm. The one thing I have to say, if you would like a Sharky bauble and you would like to increase your chances of getting one, let me just say, if you happen to be wearing a t-shirt that says Teal Town USA across the front of it, chances are you're going home with a Sharky bauble. Just saying.
Definitely.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you? Congrats to Randy on 1,700 games. Congrats to the Golden Knights. It's a huge accomplishment, but
Does Felix know that because he's part of the fam, he's not like eligible for this contest?
So, all right, let's wrap this thing up.
Oh my God! And taking you into the Brody Brazil show
is
Eric Cura. Eric Cura playing the EDM.
Yes, and with that, you have a good night. We will see you on Tuesday after the Sharks and Stars, where we hope we can finally clinch a playoff spot. Until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real, Teal. Good night.